Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? This is BC. Welcome back to another episode of Supreme Being. First and foremost, shout out to Team BC Investment Division, Team BC Traditional side. My team is now international. We have expanded into Canada now. And I think we're in 16 or 17 states. I need to double check again here in the continental United States. If you're interested in the investment side, the traditional side, reach out to me. Go to jointeambc.com, submit an application, and we'll take it from there. Also, shout out to Modern Success, my coaching program. If you guys are interested in any courses or anything that I have to offer, go to briancasella.com. All right, let's begin. So for those of you who follow me a little bit closer, I am currently doing a door knocking challenge right now. And one of the topics I discussed on the first lecture today on the challenge is something I want to touch on here in this podcast, because this is something that I think is extremely important, simple, yet very misunderstood and overlooked by a lot of people because they think they know it or they think they're doing it, but they're not. Okay. I'm going to present a question to you, and I want you to think about it for a second. What you're doing right now, what you want to do, the next thing on your to-do list, the next big thing you have to do to get done to accomplish what you want to accomplish, whatever that is. Do you see the possibilities with that? Better said, do you see the endless possibilities with it? Do you see the advantages to it? Do you see the beauty of it? Because I'm going to break one thing down right now, like I did in the challenge, and I want you to pay very close attention. This is the way I look at life. Every little thing, small details, big details, right? Small goal, big step, small step. I look at it like this, and I want you to really get this and begin to exercise this in your life. It literally becomes a superpower, okay? And it's this. I'm doing a door knocking challenge, right? Now, you can substitute going door to door with anything else, making a call, approaching a stranger, right? Don't get caught up in that. This is just this particular example. But let's start. Going door to door, right? How do people think about that? And what respect do they think about it? What comes to mind? Now, for most people, it's negative stuff. Doesn't work. That's old school. No one's going to take me serious. You're not going to make money. It's a waste of time. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. It doesn't work. You're not good enough to do it. Oh, religious people go door to door. I could go on for 20 minutes that I do these podcasts, just giving you reasons not to do it, or opinions and statements that other people are going to say that are irrelevant. Or we can say are valid. However, you're only getting one piece of that puzzle, one side of the story. Here's an excerpt that I gave in the speech or the lecture today, right? That I want to give to you guys. Maybe off a little with the words, might not be an exact replication of it, but I said something like this. I said, I think it's incredible to door knock. The fact that I could, at random, park somewhere, get out of my car, go up to a stranger's door, knock on the door, engage in a conversation with them, and within a minute or two or minutes, get a lot of information from them, get their cell phone, get their email, and then possibly at that first interaction, either right then set a meeting to meet with them and do business and transact, or in the future, do that and make 5, 10, 15, 20, 100,000, whatever your commission is. That's fucking insane. That's insane. Like, do we understand the beauty of that, the rarity of that, the insanity of that in a good way? Like, do you realize what I just said? That's a potential, and that's a virtual guarantee if you do it and you get good at it. How come nobody ever talks about that shit? Why do I have to bring that? I've never heard anybody bring that up except for me. What I just said, the way that I said it. If anybody else has said it, I've heard them say it after they've listened to me and quoted it to somebody else. That, to me, what I just said about door knocking is senior to and destroys any negative thing you could say, any risk that you could say is associated with it, right? That right there, to me, is all I need to hear to know I'm going to do this. How about the fact that it forces you and puts you in a position where you have to confront every single hidden, obvious, not so obvious insecurity that you're dealing with about yourself. You don't like the way you look. You consider yourself an introvert and not a very good communicator. Well, guess what? If you want to get good at door knocking, you're going to have to do it. When else are we going to purposefully be like, yo, I'm going to work on this? You literally, it's like putting your fingernails down a chalkboard to get people to approach people and work on their social skills. Unless you force them to do it like this, career-wise, very rarely are you going to meet somebody who's willing to do it. But I can tell you from experience, because I'm not just some average Joe talking about this shit. I'm somebody who's knocked on thousands and thousands and thousands of doors and had thousands and thousands of interactions. I mean, I'm probably in the top 1% on the planet or less, smaller percentage of people who have done this for years and years and years and years. This isn't theory. You have what I said in the beginning. You have this, which forces you and puts you in a position to develop and grow in ways that otherwise people would rarely ever, if ever, put themselves in that position to do this. This is, in my eyes, an extremely beautiful and rare privilege, man. I want, if the world listens to this, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people listen to this podcast, I want them to turn this podcast off saying, dang, I need to go door to door, even if it has nothing to do with my career, just for the potential of it, especially the second point of developing yourself. What would that be worth to you, a listener here, to have absolute, and I'm going to list off more benefits, by the way, but just to have absolute comfort approaching strangers, speaking to strangers, being in the heat of the moment in a discussion, right? Being thrown a curveball and you don't bend or break or shake or have any issues. You just calm, cool, collected. You respond. You can truly communicate and be yourself to a 100% degree. What would that be worth to you? Can you even conceive what that would be like? My guess is no. I'm not 100% yet. I don't know if any of us will ever reach that level. But man, I can tell you the development I've had over the last 10 years, especially in regards to this, it is irreplaceable. What are some other benefits? What are some of the benefits that people don't even think of? By doing this, you will be a better improvisation person, meaning you can make stuff up, right? On the fly. You can be funny and witty if you're like that in your personal life, right? There's the benefit of being able to go in front of 100, 1,000, 10,000 people, right? Or lead if you have a small team of 2 people or 1 or 10, if you run a business, or you're the manager at a store, and having complete ease and power in your speech. How about the fact that you could walk around and exude a quality, that magical quality, confidence, that other people see and admire because they lack it themselves. And they'll be so attracted to you. Why? Because you're free in a way that they're not. Right? Man, I feel like I'm a poet here talking about this stuff. And I'm talking about the benefits of door knocking. This is incredible. Now, if you've been considering it and you've listened to what I just said and you're still having hesitations, man, good luck. Because if what I just told you hasn't allowed you to, in quotes, see the light, I don't think anything will. You know what I mean? I mean, it's crazy. So, right now, we've talked about that now for almost 10 minutes now. You've understood what I'm saying now. What you need to extract from this, not only is what I said about the subject matter and looking at other subject matters in a similar way, but how did I arrive to this? How did I arrive to this position to be able to describe what I just described? Because all of you have the potential to see what I saw and describe it in the way that I described it. Even if you don't consider yourself well-spoken, you still have the mental capacity to see what I saw, because these potentials are there. They're ever present. Anybody can see them, because people like myself who have earned this position and seen the benefits, we've reported back to you and told you, yo, the top of the hill is beautiful. You need to get up here. So it's not uncharted territory. But you refuse to look there. Why? You have wired yourself your whole life to only see the one side of the story. The world right now, it's been this way since TV and radio, right? In the majority of the subjects that people talk about on the radio and the news and the media about, I don't know, wars or this or that, people only have the side of the story that's told by that source that gives them the information. That's it. They refuse to even look or consider the possibility of another side. So they don't even look. And when you create this automated process, you never get off of it. You will continue, right? So first you need to see, hey, there's more than one side to the story. Why? That's universal law. The polarity, law of polarity. There's always two sides, man. You have to understand that. So just like if you hear about a situation, you read a book about somebody who's telling you the history between two foes who fought and you're only hearing it from the victor, well, you really don't have the other side, do you? Right? I mean, we can give you a million different references for this, but what I'm telling you is forget about all the stuff on the outside. With yourself as you're processing and analyzing the world. Be absolutely certain that you're not only taking that one focal point. And in this instance of what I brought up in the beginning about door knocking, you're only looking at what's missing or what you don't have. What's lacking? What are barriers? What I don't have in the moment. How about the other side? How about the possibilities? How about what you can get? How about what you can earn? Have you even sat down and written down, hey, if I was to, go door to door and I got one sale a month selling whatever I sell, what would that equate to money-wise in a year? If it's a realtor and you make $10,000 in commission, well, over 12 months, that's $120,000 for making one sale a month. It's pretty fucking incredible. That already puts you like in the top 10 or 15% of income earners in the United States. Pretty interesting, especially if you're somebody like me who started and you have a lot of zeros in your bank account and not many numbers bigger than zero. That's a pretty incredible realization there. And all it took was some basic thinking and logic. But you have to literally grab yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and force yourself to start thinking this way and seeing the other side. So I want you right now, right, to either write down, or if you're driving, listening to this, make a note, a mental note that when you stop and you have the opportunity to put pen to paper or pencil to paper, you're going to write this down. I want you to write down currently what you're dealing with. What's a current struggle or challenge in your life right now that you're dealing with today? Especially one that weighs on you emotionally in a negative way. And I want you to force yourself to write at least 10 ways that this is, as people would say, a blessing in disguise. Or ask yourself, what are the learning lessons here? And I want you to sit your ass down until you can come up with 10. Until you can come up with 10. I'll give you an example. Somebody says, well, I'm getting an objection that I'm too young and people don't want to hire me. I'll say youth has a lot of benefits. Number one, you have more energy than the next guy. Number two, you have no bad habits. You're a blank canvas that can learn. So you're not going to have to unlearn and then learn again. You just have to learn. So you have an advantage. Number three, you're going to work harder than other people. Why? You want to prove yourself. And that's that youth, that spark, that energy that very rarely is brought at the same level from somebody who's established. Number four, you're coming in at a good time right now, being inexperienced. You have all of the new wave of technology and things to your advantage versus somebody who's been here for 20 years and they're stuck in their ways. All this new stuff, maybe they haven't adopted it yet. Maybe they don't understand it. Maybe they don't like it, right? Now pause. I just gave you a ton. And I could keep going. But this exercise is something you have to do to start to condition your mind to be able to think and look in places that it normally doesn't. Why? Your mind, whenever possible, will go into automatic mode because it's easier that way. It's less energy. However, I want to upgrade my mental technology so much that my automatic mode is 10 million levels above everybody else because I've taken the time to consciously do these things. So start writing things down that maybe right now it's tough for you to even see a possibility of how this is positive. And I want you to sit there every day and spend 20 minutes, 10, 20 minutes working on this, to open up that part of your mind. This is what gives me the ability that when you send me a woe is me message, or man, there's nothing good about this message, I find immediately a ton of good things about it. It's not a superpower. It's just something that I've done over and over and over and over. So now once that's unlocked, I can look at something like door knocking and get excited about it and geek out about it in ways that other people look at and say, what the hell? How? If you see what I saw and what I just described in the beginning, now you have more motivation and you attack these things the way that you're supposed to. Why? You can see it for what it actually is, man. You see it for what it actually is. And all it took was utilizing your mind a little bit more. I'm not asking you to do something crazy here. I'm not asking you to do some Houdini magic trick. There's just using your mind in ways that we were never taught, because school didn't teach us this shit. School did not teach us this. I didn't learn this in school or from a mentor growing up. Did you? Because I didn't. I didn't learn any of this shit. I'm self-taught with a lot of the stuff where I was seeking out the people who could teach me. And I did whatever I could to get in front of them and paid them ridiculous amounts of money if I had to get in front of them and learn from them, because I was attracted and drawn to them for whatever reason. And I'm so glad that I did that, because now I'm here today, now teaching and still climbing the mountain and living a life that very few people can even fathom or understand. So when I was told before by people things such as I'm living a life that I can't explain to people or tell people because they don't get it, or I have to tone it down so they believe it, I get that now because I have to do the same shit. Because I have an experience in many levels of life and different areas of life that other people cannot imagine. And to them, oh, that's arrogant. That's not, dude. That's my reality. But just because you can't fathom it doesn't mean it's not real or it's not possible. But in regards to my mental health, this is one of those foundational pillars. I see things for what they actually are. You want to talk about having real perception and awareness? This unlocks that ability. Why? If you can only see one side of it or one piece of the puzzle and not the whole thing, do you really have the whole story? Are you really functioning at your highest capability? No, of course you're not. So put the pen to paper. Even if you don't put pen to paper later, put some of these things in your mind. What's the good in this? You start asking yourself different questions, and that eventually unlocks that door that's been like a vault locked away in your mind because you haven't been able to access it. Communication and questions is a way for you to access somebody's mind and your own mind. This is why I love teaching communication too, right? Which rolls me into my next thing. I want to do a quick little announcement. My friend Pablo's in town, right? And this Saturday, the 26th of March, we're doing an event called Cracking the Code 3. We've already done the first one and the second one. But some of these concepts I'm talking about, I'm going to do a deep dive in this event, at least my section, on deep dive, neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, in which I'm a certified master practitioner, and hypnosis. I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm a master hypnotist, all this stuff. I have all the certifications in both at the top level. I've never done an event where I exclusively focused on these things. I'm going to do it this Saturday. You can go to my website, briancasella.com. It's on the front page. You can sign up if you want. I'm not going to sit here and bombard you with a promotion. But if this topic interests you, unlocking your mind this way, right? Influencing people, getting in their mind, getting in your own mind, and being able to actually have some control. This is one of those things I'm going to cover in depth among many others this Saturday coming up. So I highly recommend you sign up for it. First 5 people that sign up get a bonus. Okay. So you have your homework. You have your homework. And I can tell you the benefits of this, I can't even describe on this podcast. And if I did, you wouldn't believe me. Because some of you have been so detached from where I'm at now, or you haven't gotten there yet, or you've been in such a lull for a long time, you don't even know what it's like to have a euphoric natural high, or to feel like you have energy all the time. Your baseline of, in quotes, feeling good is like 5 out of 10. So what would happen if you get to 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10? How would you describe that? You have no idea what that is. Get with me or whoever else that you admire, that you want to learn from, and get to that level. I'm telling you, you do not have time to waste. Learn this stuff. Take it serious. This allows you to attack these things with more seriousness and conviction and discipline, because you start to really see the power that it can unlock within you and the help it can give you. and the ability to succeed more on a financial level, a spiritual level, and emotional level, and everything else that you're looking for, man. This is the ticket. This is it. Not some fairy tale bullshit that someone else is going to sell you. This is it. Unlocking the ability of your own mind and the ability to use it more proficiently on a daily basis. Okay. So that's it for this one, guys. Shout out to the team. If you guys need anything from me, message me. Again, briancasella.com for the Cracking the Code 3 event and anything else that I have to offer, including my coaching, Modern Success, and everything else. All right. That's it for this one. We'll see you guys. Peace.